Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, the video today is on a 2003 Vauxhall Vivaro, or Vivaro, I think is how you pronounce it. Same as Renault Traffic, really. And right, so I got a phone call about this car, if I could program a second-hand UHC. Now, I've asked what the problem was, and they explained me what the problem was, and I'm going to show you what the problem is. So, when I turn the ignition on, my left-hand side turn signal is permanently on. It doesn't matter where I put it, as you can see, it's always the left-hand side. Now, they have replaced the stalker, thinking that was the problem. Obviously is not the problem. So at this point, apparently they tried UHC from another van, which the problem stopped. So they know the problem is the UHC, but obviously the car doesn't start. So they asked me if I could, like I said, if I could program the second hand. But I suggested why you don't try to repair the original UHC, which at this point they don't know how to do it, so they brought it to me, and here it is. So the first thing, I'm pretty much, obviously by the looks of it, it looks like it is indeed the UHC, especially because that's been replaced already, the stalker. And but nevertheless, we're going to plug the maxi sys, look at some live data just to confirm the problem. And I think I did a mistake, because I went Renault, didn't I? Right, this is not going easy, so that failed. That's going to go, oops, it's not Opel, it's Vauxhall. Oh dear, this is going to be a bad day. Okay, and finally looks like we are in, and let's try to go body control module. So read codes, all the codes are not present, blah blah blah. Okay, so all these codes is because they have been trying this UHC or body control module. These I was thinking about Renaults, forget about that. Although this is the same stuff, is a Vauxhall, so is a body control module. So basically, this body control module has been on another van. As I said, they've been trying the control module, body control module from another van in here, and they put this one on another one. So we're gonna ignore completely this. All the codes are not present anyway. So I want to go to live data now. Let's gonna do data display. Okay, battery is a little bit low. So okay, so there is left side, left turn signal is on. Okay, so can you see that? So when okay, so this is off, is in the middle position. Okay, middle position. It shows on and off. If I go left, everything remains the same. If I go right, they both come on. You see? So is that, now we have an issue here, which is try to find out if, okay, I don't think there's anything else here. No. Okay, let me see if I have steering wheel control module, because the only thing I need to find out now is if this request is actually coming from here, or if it's something internal on the UHC that is on the body control module. Crap. On the body control module that is actually requesting the left turn signal. So that's what we need to find out next. Let me see if there is There isn't. So as you can see, there isn't. So there is nothing here for this module here. So this is going to be most likely a simple sort of analog. It's going to be like just a switch in there that's going to request the signal, and obviously there's nothing. It's not like a kind of communication between something here and the body control module. So it's going to be straight. So what we're going to do? Let me think. Let me try something here. What if I do right turn? So left turn is working. Let me try right turn. See what happens. It does that. You see that? As soon as I turn it off, it goes back to that. So I think the first thing I'm going to do to try to figure out where the problem is the following. Let me show you. Okay, so what I've done is I have unplugged my stalker, and when I turn the ignition, if I still have the turn signal working, then 100% that means my problem is going to be down the line. And it's not the information that is coming from here, it's going to be the UCH. So ignition on, there we go, same problem. Okay, so this kind of helps clarifying. I know they did change that stalker and all that stuff, but experienced guys, and you saw some of my videos, never trust what other people does. Always do your own diagnostic, so you know exactly where you started. You know exactly, you have a good understanding of the problem and everything that's going on. So at this moment in time, I'm pretty much 99.9% convinced that it's going to be my UCH, which is actually placed right there. Look, is right underneath there. So that's what we are going to do next, is unplug that and open it and try to figure out what's wrong. Okay, I haven't checked diagrams or anything like that, guys. I'm just doing this a little bit like pre-assuming that turn signals are controlled by my UCH. As you can see, is a UCH N2 Renault. Although this is a Vauxhall, I'm going to guess that my turn signal relays are going to be these two here at the back, but I might be wrong on that. So let's going to do some tests and see what we find out. Okay, guys, and the first test I've done was plug this back in like that, just the PCB, and see if I could feel any of these relays actually clicking, and I can't. So I have the feeling that the turn signals, they are not controlled by relays. They're going to be controlled probably through this IC here. Maybe, I'm just guessing, okay? But what we're going to do, I have diagrams here now, okay? So we are going to check diagrams, and according to my diagrams, X42 is this plug here, X41 is this plug here. On X42, on X42 pin A4 and A3 is my signal to my left and right hand side turn signals. I'm not sure which one is which now. And on X41, my pin 6 and 7 is the signal from the stalker to turn right or left hand side turn signals. So I think I have an idea here, just to see one thing here. Hold on a second. Okay, guys, so what I've done is I've got my plug diagram. I could tried to do this just by trial and error, but basically I marked the pins in there, and basically on this socket here, on this Y1, so pin 3 and pin 4, pin 3 is my right hand side turn signals, pin 4 is my left, pin 3 I already measure from there. As you can see, I still have the probe in there all the way to there, and I do have continuity. Obviously I have continuity on both because of the bulbs still all in place, so I would get that, but it doesn't matter. I have signal, I have circuit in there from this white plug in there all the way to there, so that's just to confirm I'm getting the right diagrams and all that stuff. So the next thing I'm going to do is on this board see where these two pins are going. And as I mentioned earlier, and as I was guessing as well, look at that. So pin 3 and 4, so pin 3, it comes straight to here, all this row of pins, of holes. Pin 4, which is my other side, comes all the way to here. Turn it around and see where it goes. There it is, onto this IC. So this is going to be my turn signals IC. Now the only thing we need to figure out is if my problem is the IC itself, or if it's the signal that comes into here, into this IC that is constantly on. Accordingly to, it's going to be difficult to say because I don't know if this IC controls anything else. I don't think it does, to be honest with you. I don't think it does, but let me see if I can get the pinouts of this IC. So it's a Infineon BTS840S2. So that's the IC here. Okay, and it is. So this is my, I think it's a MOSFET, sort of. It's a kind of electronic switch. Anyway, so this is all confirmed by what I've showed you already. So as you can see, the chip, it does have these pins on the edge. They are all connected to the same. So this is going to be my feed, my voltage feed into the chip, okay? And then this is going to be one output, that's another output. And you can easily, let's put it like that. So you can easily confirm that there. So VBB, so voltage, output, 1, 2, 3, 4 pins for output. You can confirm in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then output 2, another 4 pins. On this side we have also voltage feed, so these 4 pins here are my voltage. And then you have grounds for channel 1 and channel 2. You have the in, this is my signals, but I'll take you through here on the side. Then we have my ST1 and ST2. This is like a status, it's a feedback from the chip to show the status of the chip. And IS, I think it's a kind of a protection system or something like that. So pin, so there is, so pin 1, 10, 11 and 12. So pin 1, 10, 11 and 12, sorry, pin 1, pin 10, pin 11, pin 12. I think this pin, I think that's wrong in there. I think that should read 20 in there. I think that 12 is wrong. So in 1 and in 2, so input 1 and 2 activates channel 1 and 2 in case of logic high signal. 16, 17, 18 and 19, so outputs 1 and output 2. Now rocket science, ST and S2, so diagnostics feedback, 1 and 2 channel 1 and 2, open draining inverts to input channel. So grounds, and then is a current, sense current output. And it's like positive power supply voltage, so that's the way it is. So my signals are here. Let's kind of plug it in and try to measure this, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to do this with the thing in place because I don't really have room in there, but let's gonna try. Okay, and this is like 3 days later. So the last time I've worked on this was on Thursday afternoon. I was then working nights Thursday and Friday. Today is Saturday morning now. I only had about a couple of hours sleep and back to business. So what was the check I've done on the car? The check I've done on the car was to see. I should have done that with the scope, but I didn't. I just did with the multimeter, which was I measured my input signal here. On the left, on the right hand side, I had nothing there. On the right hand side, I had nothing. On the left hand side, input pin, which is my third pin somewhere here, the multimeter was not quick enough to show me any voltage, but definitely was some changes on the screen. That kind of puzzles me a little bit. And if the fix I'm gonna attempt doesn't work, then I will explain you why I was a little bit puzzled about this. But the reason is as well because, as I said, I worked on the car on Thursday afternoon. That was the last time I worked on it. Today is Saturday, so I had to make a decision to buy some parts, because if I didn't, and I would leave it for today after the measurements, even if I would order something today, it would not be shipped until Monday. Then I'm back to work. Well, I'm actually back to work on Monday for a few hours for some meetings, but then I'm fully back to work Tuesday and Wednesday, which means I would not be able to do nothing until Thursday again. So it would mean entire week just with the van in there. So what I've decided to do, which just arrived today, was to buy, I think some of you are already guessing, was buying a new, I don't want the paperwork, I want this. So it was to buy a new Infineon chip, a new IC. I believe that's MOSFET switch or something like that. Yeah, well, as we have seen on the thing. So I bought a new one. Now at this point, I could put this on the side, carry on making some measurements just to make sure there's nothing else wrong on the board. But you know what? The part is here. It's gonna replace it, and hopefully this will fix my problem. If it doesn't, still I will have a good IC anyway. Let's gonna try it. I'm gonna start there. I think that's gonna be my problem. This chip cost me about 10 quid. You find them a little bit cheaper, but because I want them to be delivered today, I paid a little bit extra. So I paid £10 for this. So let's go replace this and see what happens. Okay, old IC is out, and now we will be cleaning this here. Okay, so there is, as we have seen as well on by the pinouts, there is also a contact here, which is the same as those 4 pins on the edges. But what I want to do, the way I'm going to solder this, is removing the solder from the pins here on the side, leave this one here, solder the pin here, or maybe no, let me check something here. Just no, I might be able to do it. I might be able to do it just the same way I removed it. So let's take this one from the package. if I align this properly, should be able just to apply heat and it should solder. Gone. There he is. Perfect. It's gonna eat this up and see if he solders. Okay, and that's it. That's gonna give it a quick clean. And I think the next thing is just plug it in and see what happens. Okay, let's plug this in. That. And it's gonna turn the key on. And fingers crossed this is gonna work. Right guys, cross your fingers. And we still have a problem. Hold on, let's make sure. No. Okay, so we still have a problem, which means to me I've done the wrong call. So obviously I will explain you now why earlier I said that was something puzzling me. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, what was puzzling me, not really puzzling me, but it was the fact that I would still have a pulse, by the looks of the multimeter, that I was having a pulse on my input signals, which obviously the chip would switch on and off as it was doing, and as it still does, which means I might have an issue elsewhere. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure this board properly, see if I figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, and finally, I believe I found the culprit. Right, the first thing I want to say is the following. It took me only a while to get to here, because I'm going to explain. So as you can see, the connector, the black connector has been removed. And the reason for that is because hold on a second. So measuring pin 6 and 7, which is my inputs for the stalker, measure from the other side of the board because the plug was in place, so I couldn't measure from this side. From the other side, that was a straight connection. Believe me or not, is a straight connection into this. This is a transponder something. It's probably a logic chip, something like that. Googling the number and the is a Sajan. So googling the number, it comes up as a Sajan, a transponder something. But I don't believe this is nothing to do with the keys, because the remote area is here, as you can see by the antennas here. Sorry, I'm not showing you. So this is my receiver for the antenna. and stuff, and the immobilizer system is going to be obviously on the EEPROM. Anyway, so from here, as I said, it's a straight connection to here. That's it. It's that simple. I can actually show you with the multimeter. Hold on a second. I'm gonna leave the multimeter here. Disconnect that. Hopefully you're gonna hear the beep. And as you're gonna see, so 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 and 7. One comes to here. Hold on a second. So one comes to here. From here comes to, I believe, here. This is a, what you call it, a coupled resistors, and from there is the first leg, comes to here, okay? So the second pin on this row here. And this is one stalker, yeah? The other one comes to the next one, right there, which comes to the other side. I checked this resistor, by the way, and it's good. And it comes all the way to the first one on this chip, okay? So my input signals, they come straight to here, and that's it. From here, from the input signals, as I said, come from here. So I believe this chip drives this, sends the information to the processor, and the processor actuates the high current IC that we had just replaced and didn't fix my problem. Now, when I was checking the board, what I've seen was under the plug, okay, under this connector, I had this, and straight connected to my input signals we have these capacitors here. These are 4 capacitors in one, and I believe they are the coupling capacitors. I might be wrong, but I believe they are. And as you're gonna see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one comes to this one, and then 6 comes to that one. Okay. And now I wanted to see something. I'm gonna try to show you on the multimeter. Don't know how yet. Hold on a second. I don't have one of those capacitor meters, so we'll have to do something here slightly different. We're going to put this into capacitance. I think you can see the screen. Okay, I'm gonna measure. There's 2 here. I'm gonna measure the first one. They all look the same to me. So we're gonna measure the first one. See if I have the. So as you can see, it measures 1.3. I believe this is nanofarads by the looks of it. It looks like it's picofarad. No, nanofarads. Okay, 1.3. But now looks what happened when I go on to the one that actually is connected to my stalkers. I have that. Okay. Now, I do know they're still on the board, so this can influence my measurements. So that's the reason why we are going to remove them and carry on from there. To be honest, I can't see anything else on my circuit that can cause a problem. There's nothing else between there and the chip. So that failing is going to be either a controller fault or this chip is faulty. That failing, there's nothing else in this circuit, so I can't really see anything else. Okay, capacitors replaced, old ones in there. I took 2. I believe the values are now exactly the same. I took 2 from that motherboard. They are slightly different, the value, but I replaced both of them, so hopefully they will be okay. Fingers crossed. Let's gonna try this now. Hey guys, I now forgot the tripod at the back on the shed, but I've just plugged it in just like that, then we'll put it in the box if it works. And let's gonna try this. Guys, it will be so good if this works. Okay, fingers crossed. Whoops. Let's try. Okay, so left, right. It worked. Hazard lights. Look at that. Bingo. Okay, it worked, guys. I'm so pleased. Okay, so let's just check that the lights are flashing, but they're gonna be. But let's gonna try right inside. And now let's gonna do left hand side. And that's it, as you have seen. Let's just make sure the van starts, but it should start okay, no problem. There it is, everything working fine. It's working. Right, guys, so nice. What to say? Basically, we managed to trace the fault back. Yes, I had no need to replace that transistor, whatever that is, that high current switch. Well, but I had to make a call. In the end, well, less £10 on my pocket. Yeah, it was those capacitors, those decoupling capacitors. And as you've seen, we replaced them and we have the module back on. I can guarantee you, if I would scope the signal, would be a lot of noise in there because of that capacitors. We haven't got that far, just a quite simple circuit from the inputs, from the signal from the stalker. It goes straight into that Sajan that I've showed you, and that's it. There's nothing between other than that resistors. Resistors were okay. Coming back was nothing else other than that. So that's it, guys. I'm really pleased that we managed to fix this body control module. Let's gonna put everything back together, and that's it. Just show you one more. Look at that. There's the lights again. Bingo, fixed, guys. Right, we got there in the end. What to say? I hope there's some information on this video. You guys are gonna enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys do have any questions, any comments, please, guys, just put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.